Hi everyone, this is a quick flow that requires no arms. So if you have any shoulder injuries and you still enjoy a sun salutation, or you like to have a flow practice, this would be the practice for you. So please come to your mat. We'll start right in the center of our mats. Spread your toes wide, of course. Fan them out from your baby toe to your big toe, and make sure that they're evenly distributed on the ground. Let your weight shift slightly forward into your feet and then slightly back. And kind of a little bit side to side. Your feet can be together or they might be hip distance apart. I want you to feel whatever feels most spacious in your low back. And then place your hands to your heart center. Call this Anjali Mudra. Take 3 conscious breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. These are cleansing breaths. So inhale and exhale. With each exhalation, feel yourself arriving to this practice, rooting down, grounding down. And with each inhalation, feel yourself rising up. This beautiful balance between upward energy and downward energy. And so feeling from your navel, reaching in both directions. And now I'll have you come to standing at the top of your mat. Placing your hands on your hips, maintaining that same connection to the earth, firming up your thighs. As you inhale, bend the knees. And if you want to use your arms for this, you can. You might extend them forward. Begin to draw the sitting bones back. Look down, make sure you can see your toes underneath your knees. And if the big toes are together, the knees will be together. But if the feet are apart, the knees will also be the same distance apart. A little bit of a back bend here. Pull up your pelvic floor. Exhale, sink a little deeper. Feel your heart lifting up. And on the in-breath, press through the earth, reach up. And again, if you have your arms, you want to reach them up, you can. Inhale, lifting your right knee up so it's parallel to the thigh. Inhale, lifting the right knee up so the thigh is parallel to the ground. Press down a little bit more through the left foot, reach up through the crown of your head. On an exhalation, hinge forward and step your right foot back quite a distance. So you want to be able to pivot open that right foot, finding warrior one. Draw your hips towards the narrow part of your mat and feel the back leg spiraling in and down, feeling a connection to the heel on the ground. Maybe coming in a little deeper into that bent knee. Making sure you can still see your front toes. Draw your left hip crease back just a little bit as you spiral your right leg in and down to the ground. Feel some action through the right glute muscles. On the inhale, leaning forward, reaching from your hips right through your crown. If you have your arms, you'd like to bring them alongside your body, feel free. Inhale, lifting up, lengthening the front leg. I'm going to have you step your back foot in slightly, so step your right foot in ever so slightly and narrow that stance. Draw the left hip crease back again, keeping your hips and your shoulders facing the same direction. Press down into the earth, engage your thighs. Inhale, look up. And on the exhalation, draw your left hip crease back, folding over that left thigh. Make sure you keep some weight in the back foot. There's a sense of that right inner thigh spiraling in and back. Left kneecap lifting with the strength of your quadriceps. Pressing into the left foot, inhale, rise up. And exhale, step your back foot forward. Bringing your feet, big toes either together or hip distance apart. Exhale, taking a seat. Feel your pelvic floor rising. A little bit of a back bend here. Inhale, press through the earth, reach up. And exhale, sink again. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, root. And as you root down, feel yourself rising up. Spreading the right toes on the floor, pressing down through the center of your heel. Lifting up through the right kneecap, draw your left thigh parallel to the ground. Press down a little bit more through the right foot as you reach up through your crown. And hinging forward, let your left leg step back about 2.5 feet. Draw your right knee into more of a flexion, so the right knee is over the center of the foot. Draw the right hip crease back and spiral the left inner thigh in and down, rooting down through the outer edge of your left heel. And there is a bit of a back bend here. Sometimes you have teachers say, tuck your tailbone. Try that. It doesn't feel very good. You do want to keep some engagement here through your glutes. Draw the right hip crease back just a little bit more and then let yourself lean on the diagonal. Imagine trying to pull your right heel towards the back of your mat. Feel that engagement. Pressing through the right foot, inhale, come up. Now step your back foot in, narrow your stance, but still keep your feet about hip distance, maybe shoulder distance apart. You might even want to take that right big toe and move it out and then draw the right heel out as well. Lifting up through your kneecaps. And on the exhalation, folding forward over that right thigh. And if you need to bend the knee, I'll have you stop right where you are so you can feel that stretch through the right hamstring. Keep the left kneecap lifting up towards the left hip. Belly drawing in towards the back body. And the elbows can point up to the sky as well. Pressing into the right foot. Inhale, lift up. And exhale, step your left foot forward. Bringing your feet, big toes together or hip distance apart, hands to heart center. Hands can stay on your hips as well. I'll have you lift your left knee up and step it really far back and then open your hips. So now the wide part of our hips, these where our front of our pelvis is on the facing the wide part of your mat. Big toes pointing the same direction or slightly in. So what I don't want to see is your feet out. I'd like to see your inner edges of your feet parallel. Press down into the earth. And notice as you actively press down again, you can feel the engagement, that co-contraction through the front and the back of your thighs. Let your chest rise. Draw the shoulder blades a little closer together in the back body. Keep some tone through the belly. Begin to lean forward. We're going to stop about parallel to the ground. It's really important here that you keep lifting through the kneecaps. So engage your quadriceps so that we can actually release our hamstrings here. Even though they're co-contracting, we're working on lengthening them out. These next few breaths, if you like, you can fold forward, folding the pelvis over the thighs. And if you like, and it's okay, there's some gentle support of the hands on the earth or on blocks. Notice if your weight is all in your heels, and if it is, shift some into your toes. Check in again with what's going on with your thighs. Especially if you're feeling pulling right up near your sitting bones, I'm going to have you engage your quadriceps more or back off just a little bit more. We want to feel it right through the belly of our thigh here, not through the insertion points. Sorry, the belly of the hamstring muscles.
Again, this is optional. You can have the hands on the hips. It's a no hands practice. To come up, I'll have you bend your knees, pivot your toes out slightly, bend your knees and press up, press the floor away. And then let your feet, inner edges of your feet, be parallel once again. And step your feet together, still facing the wide part of your mat. Arms can stay alongside the body as you root down into the earth, lifting the chest, projecting the sternum up to the sky as you draw the belly in to support the back body. Hands can be on the thighs or encircle the waist. And if you have your arms that are in the practice, it can reach up past your ears. Bringing those shoulders back over the hips. And then on the exhalation, folding forward. Again, you want to feel this right through the belly of the hamstring. Hamstrings, it's a group of 3 muscles. And then begin to bend the knees. And just gently use the hands, bring your knees to the floor. Tucking the knees right underneath the hips. Your arms can stay alongside the body, lifting the chest up to the sky, or gently encircle the waist. You can always bring them down. Just make sure that you're still keeping that lifting up action. And bringing the shoulders back over the hips, coming down into Vajrasana, kneeling pose. Taking a couple of breaths here to stretch out the fronts of the ankles. Again, we're in a little bit of a back bend here, which means the chest is lifting and we've got this little bit of a curvature in the low back. Then I'll have you come to seated. Extend your left leg forward and we'll cross the right leg over top. You can just gently hold the right shin or rest it on your knees. There's no pulling here, they're just resting. Left toe points to the sky and the crown of the head reaches up. Inhale on the exhalation, just rotating your chest a little bit more over to the right. You don't have to pull with your arms. You can just gently rest that left hand on the right shin. And coming into a very gentle spinal twist. And back through center. We'll switch sides. Left foot crosses over right knee. Again, just gently resting here on that left knee. Inhale, crown rises up as the toes point up. And on the exhalation, looking over your left shoulder. And come back to center. Releasing that leg. Let's bring the soles of the feet together. I'm just going to shift and face you. Soles of the feet together, arms can rest. If you like, you can place blocks under the outer aspects of your knees. This can also be done lying down on the ground. And maybe if it feels right, you can shift your heart forward in space. On the in-breath, rising up. Draw those knees together, either with or without your hands. If it's available, I'll have you come down onto the ground. Otherwise, you can stay right where you are seated. But if you can get down to the ground without utilizing your hands or your arms, without any strain, come on down. Sometimes you don't even realize quite how much you're using particular body parts until you're asked not to use them. Bringing the knees underneath, sorry, the ankles just underneath your knees. Let's allow those knees to gently rock side to side. And the next time they come down towards the right, allow them to stay. You can stack your left knee over your right if you like. Maybe cross the left leg over the right. Find your variation of this twist. Take a few conscious breaths here. Most important part of our practice is simply to remember to breathe and to feel. And maintaining this state of curiosity. So, what is that feeling today? Does it feel different than yesterday? Is there some new sensation? All of these sensations and breath are happening in the present moment, and that's why we invite you to come to the breath, to come to sensation, because it keeps you in this moment, not into the rest of your day or regurgitating past thoughts, which, by the way, are very rarely new or fresh. This moment is where the freshness arises. Begin to draw your knees back to center, unwind your legs. Again, a gentle rocking side to side through your knees. And then allow the knees to draw over to the left. You can stay here. You can stack right knee over left or cross right thigh over left. Maybe interlace your ankles. And that right glute is actually off of the floor here. Paying attention to the magic of this moment. Where is the breath going in your body? Can you use that exhalation to release some tension somewhere where you're holding it? Use some slight engagement through the belly. Bring your knees back to center. Uncross your legs if they're crossed. Let your knees come in. Walk your feet out a little wider. And then walk your heels out to the corners of your mats. Any other little movements or shifting that you need. Take a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. I always invite people to do that a couple more times to really decompress. We don't really realize how much tension we're holding in our muscles until we invite it to let go. Allow your muscles to drop away from your bones. The bones and their weight drop down into the earth. Let go, and then let go of letting go. She Let Go by Reverend Safire Rose. Without a thought or a word, she let go. She let go of fear. She let go of judgments. She let go of the confluence of opinions swarming around her head. She let go of the committee of indecision within her. She let go of all of the right reasons, wholly and completely, without hesitation or worry. She just let go. She didn't ask anyone for advice. She didn't read a book on how to let go. She just let go. She let go of all the memories that held her back. She let go of all of the anxiety that kept her from moving forward. She let go of the planning and all of the calculations about how to do it just right. She didn't promise to let go. She didn't journal about it. She didn't write the projected date in her daytimer. She made no public announcement. She didn't check the weather report or read her daily horoscope. She just let go. She didn't analyze whether she should let go. She didn't call her friends to discuss the matter. She didn't utter one word. She just let go. No one was around when it happened. There was no applause or congratulations. No one thanked her or praised her. No one noticed a thing. Like a leaf falling from a tree, she just let go. There was no effort. There was no struggle. It wasn't good. It wasn't bad. It was what it was, and it is just that. And in the space of letting go, she let it all be. A small smile came over her face, a light breeze blew through her, and the sun and the moon shone forevermore. Without moving the body, just noticing the breath. See if you can feel the floating ribs undulating with that breath movement. It's a beautiful practice to come into any time of the day, feeling the breath in the floating rib area. That means you're taking the breath down to the base of your lungs, moving it past your collarbones, past the middle of the lungs, all the way down to the base of the lungs, just focusing on the sensation through the floating ribs, rising and falling. I find this deeply relaxing. And still noticing the breath, begin to move your fingers, spread all 10 fingers wide. Breath in and exhale, let them soften. Move your toes, spread all 10 toes wide. Take a deep breath in and let the toes soften. Bend your knees. Again, without using too much pressure on your hands and your shoulders, just roll over onto one side. A little bit of gentle pressure through the hand to come to seated, but not too much. Hands resting on the thighs, inviting the palms to be open to keep the chest open. Just feeling the breath in that floating rib area, right down low. Those floating ribs are called floating ribs because they don't connect. They just kind of stop. If you are curious, you can kind of feel how they're just partial ribs. Thank you for taking this time for yourself, for creating space in your body and in your mind, and especially for practicing with me. If you enjoyed this practice, I invite you to please subscribe, and I'll see you again. Namaste.